Okay, so each class, we're going to go through the same pattern, but we're going to do it with each planet and try and make the association from one planet to the other and stretch it. And every time you do this, whatever you're stretching, oh, look at this, oh, look at that. You keep expanding your understanding of the moon or the planet that you're working with. So with the air signs, these are signs that intellectualize their feelings. The fire sign's going to act. They get a feeling, an instinct, they're going to act on it. They're going to put it into action, the fire, to make something happen. And there's an enthusiasm with that. The air signs, they're going to intellectually, they get a strong feeling, they're thinking about it. They feel, if a Gemini moon feels curious, they'll just be talking blatantly, whether anyone's listening or not. They're going to feel secure and just talk, like they know everything. And they're interesting, but it doesn't make room for other people. They're not necessarily listening. They need to be expressing and thinking. Sometimes they listen, but as soon as they hear something, they're talking more. They're making these associations, and they live in many different ways. I should live like this, I'll live like this, I'll try this. And it's mutable air, so it's trying to adapt and look at things different ways. But still, they'll have many different feelings, and they'll have an intellectual take on all of them. Same with Libra. Libra will want to share. There's a need to share and have someone talk back and forth and to be hearing someone and sharing a bit, but there's still a tendency to intellectual feelings and talk rather than feel. So it's not necessarily a comfortable place for the moon, but it doesn't mean there's not ability of being very pleasant, making things nice, having habits that, artistic habits or things you can share. That would be the Libra quality on the moon. So what each one is simple. The association is simple, but as soon as you try to say, well, how did I do that? Well, how did I show it? Well, you're going to struggle at first, and they say, well, when I was 17, oh, I remember that. Like when I was doing mine, I remembered a lot of things that happened in my teenage years that seemed relevant. And then from there, it gave me the handle on it to be able to get to my 20s or 30s and look at it and say, oh, that's happening here. To happen now, and how it's happening now, we can see them, all our habits are there. And we end up being in a certain state of various states of relationship to our own feelings. So, okay, the Aquarius is the fixed thinking. Still intellectualize their feelings, but they know what they know. They feel they have to be respected for what they're knowing, and they're going to feel things. They're going to explain it. This is how it is, and they're expecting to be listened to. And so all of the moon signs intellectualize their feelings. As soon as you hug someone, instead of a water sign will feel it, and a fire sign will act on it. You get a hug, you're going to be active, you're going to do something from it. It's adrenaline. Air sign, you get a hug and you start talking right away. You start thinking about what it means or what it implies. I mean, really, you could take any one category and any one aspect of the moon, and you can spend hours just reflecting on it. If you had an autistic kid and you're trying to touch the most sensitive points or how to make use of it, you would slow this down and spend a lot more time at this than it would be done. Like I'm right now just going through trying to cover all the signs, so I have to be a little more general, but you're seeing the category. As the category comes and relates to that moon, you can begin to make the association, not just a straight definition, it's these energies merging and the attitudes forming in, and there's whole levels of how the attitudes work at one level of consciousness, and as you evolve it, the attitudes refine in other ways. So there's a gross way and a divine way, a demonic or a divine way to work out any attitude. So it's your choice at what level are you stuck at, or where are you going. The water signs are going to feel their feelings the most. They're going to indulge with feeling. So their moon is there. They're going to need to be emotional. They're going to need to be feeling and sensuous, and they're going to be very judgmental, sensitive about anything they felt. If they feel something's wrong, they'll be judgmental about it. So it can be shy, but it can be this emotional quality. They don't process rationally. They got an intuitive, instinctive sense about things, hunches, feelings, both good and bad. The difficulty for the water signs when it's bad, when you have bad experiences, it's hard to get rid of them. It's easier to fester and keep magnifying the moods that happened in the past. Mom did this, I'll never forget. I always remember that. It was one little episode of Mom, but it was a big thing to you. The Cancer moon's more pushy about how they got to have their home, and it's got to be this, and if it's not going their way, it got to be this. I can't do that, and they're a little more pushy. But it's still, the water allows the moon to reflect and go into its feeling aspect more. And in Scorpio, it's going to be very judgmental, tendency to remember the dark things or the bad things, but certainly judgmental about who shared, what's fair, what's not fair, how could you do this to me? It has a very competitive judgment. So, and the Pisces is the mutable judgment. This is kind, this is not kind, this is helpful, this is not, I can help you, that's not helpful, that's not nice. They can understand that everyone can feel differently. There's a vast spectrum of feeling, but it's hard to stay concentrated. So Pisces usually need to be dedicated and following their beliefs. But the water signs will magnify the emotional, intuitive, and sensual sides of the needs, of the habits, of the patterns. They each will have a tendency to make emotional pockets. Pisces way more than anyone else, but Cancer may get caught in one pocket. Scorpio may be fixated on one person and judging around that. So these emotional qualities will come in to the memories, and to understand the memories, you see, while they had several they have complicated emotional lives, or to the point they're really fixed and hung up on their last marriage that broke up, and how could this be, or they're really lost in their home, or fixated on their mom, or if you marry me, you got to let my mom live with us. There's many specific ways these can play out. So you don't want to get so much in the specifics. You want to see the attitude and how that attitude might show. Your opinion is better. Your opinion of your experience is better than my definition of your experience. My definition can act as a standard or catalyst. You're taking the chart, then looking at the symbol and what it implies, and then you're seeing, well, it worked this way, but it really worked this way. I see it a little differently than that. It goes like this, but it'll still have those basic qualities will be there. So when you're dealing with the moon, don't expect everything to be crystal clear and defined. You just see this matrix of energy with a predisposition to how you process your memories and what feels secure. When you get to the earth signs, these are the down-to-earth practical. These are the ones who physically manifest their energy. So a water sign can be intuitive and pick up intuitions and just get hunches. But the intuition from the moon can come to any sign and any element, but in the earth signs, it tends to be physical. Instead of going intuition, oh wow, I see this, I've seen it before. They usually get a chill, or they get some physical sensation, and then know something strange is going on. Whether something secure or not secure, they get a physical chill if there's insecurities around them. And they tend to be very tactile in their life. They want to live, moon, want to feel secure and live in a comfortable, healthy way. Comforts, health, good food, nice things. They want to live comfortably. And their magic in a relationship, when you get close to someone, they'll try to make the feelings more real, more alive, a better bed, a nicer drink, they'll try and keep one-upping and making better. Or that's the positive side of it. Negative side is just negating that. But it's the basic thing with the earth signs, they don't want to feel old. They don't want to feel they're getting aged. They want to feel alive and young. Many yogis, many people, many healers have the earth moon because they're practical what's healthy. But for each element, you have the cardinal, fixed, mutable sign. So you're going to have this practical, physical sense. So these are people who have sensations based on their instincts, but they're not going to necessarily project them that much. These are all, the water and the earth signs are the reflective, so they're holding in their judgments. But they need, these are kids that need to be touched and hugged, not just talked to. The water signs, as kids going to school, need to have sympathy to be encouraged to go along. And the air signs just need to have talking and lots of ideas. It needs to be interesting. To an air sign, if you have an air sign moon teacher, and the kids got the Cancer moon or the Taurus or the earth or the water, they're going to think they're high maintenance because I got to go into special attention for them. Fire sign is just going to be busy active, but they don't want to stop the action. So they're the projective ones. So all of these categories kind of weave into each other. But I just want you to look at each layer relate each layer one at a time to the moon and see what you get out of it. And you'll see a certain meaning. Or you might, I mean, there could easily, for each of these, there could easily be 10 or 20 levels of meaning. But I just want you to find one of them that relates to you. Say, oh yeah, I saw that. Because once you see the one, it'll start. And then once you got one, oh yeah, would this be a better story? Would this be a better story? Then you start remembering 4 or 5 until eventually, as we study astrology a long time, all of your experiences in the past are somewhat organized and in place, and you can remember them better and your relationship to them.